Welcome back to Transaction Care. My name is Lillian Hernandez, but you can call me Lily like the flower because we're learning and growing together. And as you see, we have another special guest sitting in the guest chair. I have AJ DeLeon, the VA teacher. AJ is here to explain what they do in this industry and how they have been such an asset to this industry in this space and helping people get introduced and get started as a real estate virtual assistant and beyond. I found AJ on social media, and this is our first time really sitting down to talk to one another. We've interacted here and there, but I'm so excited because let me get into AJ's bio really quick so you guys can get a better understanding of where AJ is coming from. And then we'll jump straight into this conversation. So, AJ DeLeon, widely known as the VA teacher, is a seasoned real estate virtual assistant, educator, and entrepreneur committed to helping professionals and aspiring freelancers building mindful careers from home. That's always a plus. A graduate of public administration from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, holds a professional teaching certification from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños Open University, with years of experience supporting top producing real estate agents in the United States. AJ has closed hundreds of transactions and developed systems that streamline operations for agents and virtual teams. As the founder of Tycoon Virtual Assistants and Next Level Assistants Assist PH, AJ has trained over 100 aspiring VAs and built communities that guide freelancers toward becoming high value partners for their clients. AJ also serves as a part-time college instructor in the Philippines, sharing expertise in business, public administration, and digital work. AJ's mission is to empower Filipinos to thrive in the global freelancing industry. I mean, drop mic drop. I don't even do we need to have the do we need to have the interview? That was amazing. So, welcome AJ. Thank you so much for being here on Transaction Care, the number one real estate show on the market, as I like to say. But
Yeah.
most importantly, the VA teacher. Okay, so let's kick things off. Why real estate? How did you get into the real estate space? Because as a virtual assistant, you could have chosen any industry, honestly. Why real estate?
That's a very good question. So I think let's start from the beginning. The year where I started everything. That was year 2021. So I was a college student back then. I was starting, I think, being a first year college student, and of course, I did not came from a well-off family. So I need to, of course, find ways in order for me to fund my college because it is not something that is free. I mean, we have a free tuition here in the Philippines, most especially where I graduated. But of course, all the miscellaneous fees of logistics and etc., you have to work on that as well. So that's the time, and that was pandemic. Okay, year
Mhm.
2020 where I started everything, and 2021 it's still a lot of things is still restricted. So the mode of learning back then is also online class. So I'm taking online class. So it's really hard for me to navigate, attending college and at the same time earning, because if I will go outside, it will consume a lot of my time, knowing that there's a travel time, right? You have to prepare. So I'm looking for a possibility or opportunity, if if I could find finding a job that could really help me to earn money inside my house, or working from home while doing my study at the same time, because it will help me a lot in terms of finishing school activities or any school prerequisite or requirements. So that's where it all started. So I have a friend of mine here in the Philippines. They are the ones who introduced me, the freelance work or the digital, a remote worker, being a remote worker. Basically, that's I think the perfect term that we can use so everybody could understand, right?
Yeah.
So the remote type of work. They introduced it to me, and oh, that's really nice. So what I did is I joined. I think the company where are they a part of, because I find it really interesting. And then when I joined the company, I didn't know that, my mind back then, I was just really, I think 18 years old back then or 19. All I want is to earn money. That's
Yeah.
it. I don't care whatever job that I will gonna take. Well, I don't care how really,
Hmm.
hard it is, how really complex it is. As long as I'll earn, I'll gonna take it. And then things happen. I joined a company, and then here's the thing. It's just like a virtual assistant company back then. So what they're going to do is they will serve as a middleman, and they will find clients for you. And the client that I was able to get engaged with or partner with is a real estate agent in California. So that's where all
Mm.
started. So she trained me, right? And to become, at first, I'm just doing a basic thing. Like I am trying to assist someone to onboard agents. This brokerage that she's part of, there's a type of revenue share type of program. What happened was I'm just assisting that person to onboard agents. So I'm basically answer text message, basically emails, anything that like an ad hoc task, right?
Okay.
But what she did to me is she saw the potential that maybe I'm not sure, maybe I'm sharp, I'm not sure, I'm just confident on what I am doing, so she started to train me, studying real estate, like, hey, be a TC. And then that's where all started, how to use transaction
Ah.
management system. And it's really hard for me because I don't have a formal education, right? I don't take courses on how to become a TC. I just learn it by heart and I just learn it by working with her, by listening to her experience. And I have this metacognition type of thing. I just learn it on my own. I'm just trying to um comprehend it in the way that I could understand it. And it seems like you're just trying to build a jigsaw puzzle in order for you to
Yes.
figure out things. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, this is the addendum. This is the modification of terms, if you know what I mean. You will relate a lot because you're in the state of California. We're in the same market, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. And state of California, I would say it's one of the hardest state if you're going to start and become a TC.
Wow. Okay. That was new news to me that you started in California because you're absolutely right. It is definitely, from what I've been told, because I've never worked outside of California, that it is one of the hardest markets to learn. And to me, I was thinking everywhere else was very difficult, but
Same.
everyone tells me they're like, no, if you can do California, you could do anywhere. So I love that you brought up that you were just hungry to make money at the time. And you were
Yeah,
very
I just don't
young.
want my. Mhm.
You worked with what you had because we all were limited. We all were stuck in the house. We had nowhere to go.
Correct,
So we had to get creative. We had to use the resources and the people that, not use the people, but just connect and network with each other to figure this out because even for me during that time, I was really struggling like, what am I going to do next if this goes away? But
correct,
thankfully I was already working remote. We all kind of figured it out together. And, I've only seen you online and we've spoken briefly here and there, but I can see what that person saw in you back then because just the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, I'm sure a lot of that confidence was built over time. And you're still very young, not to expose anyone's age or whatnot, but just based on your early journey and where you were, that ambition goes a long way and that curiosity. And you nailed it with saying that it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Like it's not the most difficult puzzle, but if you don't have the cover to match the pieces, it could be confusing. But after a while,
correct.
you start to gain your rhythm and you said you figured it out. You created your own system. So in the very beginning, when doing TC work, did you have any idea that this could be a business or career, or were you still just anything to pay the bills and to, stay afloat
Wow.
financially? How did that come to be?
Love, love that question. When I started to become a transaction coordinator, I've been told as well on the agency that this type of work is actually a work that you cannot commit mistake.
Mm.
And because, everything
Yeah.
is contractual, right? Everything will gonna mess up if you commit mistake, right? Or you are prohibited to commit mistake. I think that's the right word, right? You are not allowed because everything will gonna mess up if you send a document that shouldn't be sent to anyone else. It will gonna mess up the whole transaction, right? If you know what I mean. There are some under the table things that shouldn't be happening, and that's something that could be learned inside. And just to answer your question, when I started to work at TC, I don't see it just like as a profession,
Mm.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I just saw it as a task that I need to do because my business partner or my client asked me to do it.
Right.
It is not something that I think that something that I embody,
Mm-hmm.
that I will bring it in moving forward, if you know what I mean. But as time passes by, I am seeing the potential of it. And it is something that I find it really good because I find myself really unique because there are only few people in the Philippines or in the market, in the digital space who can do transaction coordination, especially in state of California, focusing on residential real estate,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's something that's anyone can do, right?
Right.
So I started to see the leverage on it. So that's why, you know, and it came to the point that my current business partner, she saw that I'm really good with transactions.
Yeah.
Like what she did is instead of you know both of us having me being her transaction coordinator, you know what we did? We partnered,
Okay.
and I offer my PC services to other agents that she knew. And these agents referred me to these different agents.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of agents right now, I would say. And these agents, I think the volume that I'm handling right now is I think I'm closing roughly 10 max a month. And
That's amazing.
then yeah. And that's what and I can cover short sale, vacant land, you know what I mean? Like anything that they represent. So meaning to say, we came to the point that my business partner saw the potential in me not just working with her. She has the confidence to offer my services to other people.
Yes.
And which is really funny because it happened that I think I was in Thailand that time. I'm having my vacation and I'm with my friend. And that friend of mine is working with one real estate agent that I started doing my services. He's working as a graphic designer. And he told me, "Hey AJ, this agent texted on the group chat and I saw that she's really amazed with you because she said that this is the first time that she felt that her transaction is being touched, so she's recommending me with a group of agents on a group text where that my friend is included, I'm not included." So he gave that testimonial to me. And my
Wow.
agent and my business partner was included in that group chat. And he said, it took me 5 years to train. It took me 5 years or a couple of years in order for me to train AJ. But that's technically correct because I give all the credit to that agent because she's really persistent in teaching me complex things because that's something that is not existing in my country, and I have to
Right.
learn that outside your country, right?
Right. Yeah, and that is one of the main reasons I couldn't wait to have this conversation with you. You've been on my list for a long time of people I wanted to
Oh my
speak to
gosh.
because alongside seeing the potential, but just seeing your consistency on social media from all the way across the country. I mean, across the globe, not the country, like a whole different country. But there weren't, like you said, there were not a lot of people doing it publicly, like showing it publicly. Maybe some people were doing it behind, just a paywall, a website, but they weren't initiating the conversations online. Like it seemed like to me, you were learning the information and then you were teaching it to others automatically. So it's like it was just already your nature to share. But before that, you said it took time to train you because it is very intricate. it is very detail
Super
oriented, and
data oriented.
there is a lot of pressure. There is a lot of there is like a level of perfection you have to have, but the perfection, I put it in quotes because it's not like nothing is perfect. We all still make mistakes, but you don't want to make mistakes to the point where, like you said, it throws off the whole transaction. But while you were training in that process, first of all, I want to shout out the realtor. We don't have to say her name or anything, but I just want to shout out that realtor because for those that are just getting started in this industry, if you are outside of the United States, first and foremost, contact AJ as soon as possible. And we'll get into what you offer and your
Thank you.
services and stuff as well, because I still want to hear that part of your journey. But for those that are just getting started, as AJ mentioned, you got connected to one person through a friend of a friend, basically. It just started as a regular job, but because they were able to pull those parts of you out, it manifested into this now amazing career for yourself. And there are still, I'm sure there's highs and lows, ups and downs, but I think what you're doing with it is such a gift. Like you're using your gifts to help a lot of people. And you now being a resource versus at one point you were just a student, when you were going through that, especially in California, I mean, I might be repeating myself over and over again, but California is not an easy market to handle
It is
because we
not.
have so we have so many disclosures and so many like I'm in San Francisco. I don't know if you were what part of California actually? Is it all over?
Northern California.
Oh, like San Francisco or Sacramento?
Sacramento. So
Oh, so no
the
up
plus
way up north. Okay.
northern, yeah, up there.
Got it.
So I served the Yuba, Placer County, Sacramento, around those areas.
Amazing. Okay, so for those that don't know, first of all, you're based out in the Philippines and you're
Yeah.
I don't want to breeze over that. And then you're working files in California. I'm also in California. I do San Francisco, the Bay Area. We're technically called Northern California, but Sacramento is about 2.5 hours from where I am
Correct.
driving. And it's still a completely different market. Like I don't really know. I can do a file in any part of California, but it would take me some time to learn like what is required in Sacramento and all of those things. So going back to the realtor that's training you or that trained you, props to them because it's important to work alongside someone that's willing to mentor you or train you or simply speak to you that isn't just throwing tasks at you like do this, do this, do that because as I mentioned in previous conversations, this can be a very thankless job. People don't really acknowledge their TC or their assistant or take the time out to want to train them to be something more, especially someone that's, international. That could be kind of risky because maybe there's a language barrier, the time zone, and you seem to work through all of that. So now that you're transitioning from just assistant to TC, this was what, a couple of years ago, right? Because you started in 2021. So
Mhm.
a couple years ago, now you're taking on more responsibility. What were those first few files like when you got in there? Was she holding your hand or
Oh
were
my
you?
gosh. It's really hard because I think when get started, um, that's 2021, it's a real estate group. So imagine it's like a new real estate group that they're trying to tap the market. So they
Mhm.
started, and then both of them have independent TC.
Okay.
So what happened is they said, okay, AJ, we're gonna step in. So that we're all started. I have to manage the inbox, figure out things, manage the transaction management system, and figure out things. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what will gonna happen. I can vividly remember. I cannot even. I think I cannot even memorize, or I cannot even say it out loud. The whole transaction process. For example, if we're representing the seller or the buyer, when I started. Like I have a bare knowledge or small amount of knowledge when it comes to real estate when I started. And
Hmm.
it's really hard because it seems like they are in the middle of transaction and I jump in. So
That's the hardest part. Hmm.
I have to backtrack all the emails, all the conversation, all the documents where they left off.
Yeah.
So I can move. I mean, I love this to you, Lily. We're not, you have to push the paper because we are the paper pusher, right?
Yeah.
I have to push the
Yeah.
transaction. In order for me to do that, I have to talk with the agent, right? Because there are some things that you have to know about, right? And there's a one thing that I want to share, Lily, when I started, and this is, I think, a good conversation or a good lesson. When I was starting, I think this agent is representing the seller side. Not sure seller side or buyers. I'm trying to remember because I managed hundreds of transactions.
Right. It gets good.
But yeah,
It gets confusing. All at a certain point when you do so much, it starts to all feel like one long transaction.
uh-huh. So I'm sure, yeah, it should be the buyer side. Yeah, the buyer side because I think we're writing requests for repairs. So you're familiar
Okay.
with that, right?
Yes.
So we were writing requests for repairs, and there's a credit. You know what I mean? So there's a credit in lieu of repairs. So what I did is I just supposed to just submit the addendum to title and lender because we just want them to see the addendum and not all the documents that we currently have. So what had happened is I send the document through e-signature, they sign it, and I just send it to lender. And I did it because the file is merged, it is not split.
Oh no.
So along the addendum, we have the request for repair. And you know what will be the consequences if the underwriter or the lender are gonna see it, right?
Right.
There's a delay. So that actual that actual transaction is 1.3 million listing. So the close-up escrow was delayed for 1 week because of me.
Wow. Okay, that was, thank you. Thank you for sharing that because these are the types of stories I want people to understand. You could have all the training, all the courses, but it's something as simple as splitting documents that can go over your head or can be missed. Those are the details, the nuances that you don't really learn in trainings or courses, but unless you go through it, I'm sure with your students, you tell them, make sure, do
Yes,
this.
yes, 100%. Even
Yeah,
in my online course, I am telling them those things. In my internship, I'm telling those things, right? That,
right.
they're in California because I'm not sure with other state if they have also requests for repair, but I am telling them that it is something that they have to be mind of. I have this actual structure when I'm trying to mentor TCs or real estate VAs. If they want to become successful in this industry, they have to master the process. And
Mm.
after the process, when I say process, the real estate process or the timelines.
Hmm.
After that, they can now study the documents.
Yes.
Because if they're going to study the documents and they don't know the process, it will not make sense,
A
right?
100%, 100%. I call that the flow, just
Yeah.
how it all goes. Like it's one long stream, like the ocean. It gets choppy. There's big waves, there's small waves, there's a calm stream, but it's just the flow of it. As long as you know the flow, like exactly what you said, then the documents will start to make sense because I never knew what requests of repairs were because we rarely do them here in San Francisco. But when I started to expand to different parts of California, they did them all the time. And I had to, I'm still learning. Even though I've been doing this for so long. So I knew exactly what you were talking about because in the beginning, I messed up too when it came to those things. I didn't know how to fill them out. And I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I need you to
And the
tell me what you need because and like where things go. Like
yeah,
I'm seeing your notes, but I still don't know exactly I
what do you want to
what
convey?
you
What do you
want to
want to
convey exactly. So I guess a little bit of a training note and tip for anyone out there in this situation. Don't sit there alone trying to figure it out. Ask your realtor to walk you
Yeah,
to walk you through that first one, or hire one of us to help you. Or reach
correct.
out because it's very important, like you said, it could be the difference between it closing and not closing. And it was an innocent mistake that thankfully eventually was repaired, but it could have happened to anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
And
gladly it didn't happen again
yeah,
because I'm gonna spank myself 1,000 times it's gonna happen. And you're right. You're learning, you were still learning. And I have a one quick also trivia like this. I know how to run comps, but I don't do it for agents. I let them do that because there are some parameters that they wanna, do.
right.
And we don't wanna, pull comps that is incorrect, right? Or maybe not based on the criteria or standards that they wanna set. So I just my agent was out yesterday and then she told me, AJ, can you pull comps? And I said, okay, this is I think she walked me through last time. I have the recording. I'll do it alone. So I figured it out. I was able to do it. And then she asked me, okay, why the property is not showing up in the actual comps? Because it should show up. Like I told her, girl, you told me that I need to tick the condominiums and townhouses. The property that you are trying me to ask to pull comps is a single family residence, so it will not show up there. Okay, so if you know what I mean, like right
Yeah.
now, we're trying to document process. I'm confident now on the situation. Like I can definitely tell her, like, girl, it will not show. So during that situation, I'm really thankful to her because before she asked me to pull the comms, we had a training through Zoom before me doing that. So whenever she needs me, I can do it for her.
hmm
Right?
hmm I love that. You said I have the recording. So I don't know if that was initiated by her or you, but that's a great way of whoever you're getting trained with, like just hit the record button so you can
Exactly. It won't take you 5 minutes to do that.
right, because then you can have a video reference. I talk all day. Like I tell people, yeah, do XYZ, but sometimes you just need a video. And that's why I created my YouTube video and I see your content on social media, which is amazing. So now, and I love that you're sharing stories about being a TC because that's so real. It's so honest because a lot of people are too ashamed to talk about that stuff, you know?
Mhm.
And the number one question I get is, what if I mess up? What if I, ruin something? And I said, the only way that's going to happen, well, first of all, you have to just start. And if you get into a situation where you don't know what you're doing, ask for help. You're not
Correct.
alone in this, right? So in this process of you now gaining more confidence, more responsibility as a TC, and you're kind of thrown into this pile, and I've helped a lot of TCs that have inherited all of these transactions from different parts of our, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And they're just like, I learned it one way, but I don't know how to handle it from the middle, right? And that's just so honest and real because I'm laughing because it's so true. If you're just getting started, you may get files that already are in the middle of it being handled. So yeah, it's like a curveball that gets thrown at you. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of, complicated things that you will discover. It's
mhm.
not just like handling paper, it's also handling agents, basically. Like,
Yeah. Oh, and
right?
communication. You are very good at the
Communication with the agent, right? And you have to also establish this type of, not really dominance, but I think
oh,
partnership
yes.
with them,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, if I need to get this one because if you'll not get this one to me, something like that, you have to make sure that they will listen to you. Because if not, you will be, it's a thing that
They'll
it's a
walk all
domino
over you.
effect. It's a domino effect. The transaction will not move. The other parties will get affected. You will get bombarded with, with the emails. You'll not hit the deadlines, and it will cost a lot of, things, right?
You brought up another excellent point. You absolutely have to assert yourself, whether it's an aggressive, dominating way, but you definitely have to command some respect through this transaction because that's where things can fall through the cracks, is when you're not following up, you're not asking for certain disclosures or for people to follow the timeline. And we're all a part of a team. We're not just one individual controlling the whole transaction. So as long as we're staying, communicating with each other, it will help move the process along. And the more you do the files, the more you'll get experience with, and the mistakes you make is just information for you to not do it again.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if you get fired, then the next client you get, just don't make those same mistakes. It
Correct.
informs you. So now let's talk about your journey into teaching and becoming the VA teacher. Like,
Mhm.
was your heart always geared towards, let me share this knowledge? Or was this like a happy accident that happened along the way? How did you become the VA teacher?
Love it, love it. I really love telling this story because it has a story, and I think the people or the world needs to hear this story.
Please, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was having an identity crisis as far as the branding, you know what I mean? Like for you, I love your contents, I love your marketing, the transaction care. I'm one of your avid fan.
Oh,
I'm always watching your videos, you know what I mean? It's something that I appreciate because this is I would say um a market that not a lot of people love to share information because it is
right.
something that is not really interesting. They think that it's a boring work because all you gotta do is send some signatures and read documents, something like that. But eh, when you're trying to do it for years and you know your core, you'll actually know your value and what are you doing. And
Absolutely.
let's go back how where it's all started. So I was doing a real estate back then. Doing real estate work for agents, and then I am trying to do a little bit of contents in TikTok. So I actually started, using different names, brand names, something like that. And then it all started when I created a Facebook page. And I just put my name there, AJ Dalion. And it is something that there's no wow, or it is something that is not really more remarkable, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know 100% because I struggled with that a lot in the beginning, especially even
Yeah.
with my name, Lillian or
Mm-hmm.
Lily, so I get it.
Oh, or your last name Hernandez, something like
Yeah, what do I do? So thank you. I'm glad you could
yeah.
relate.
So I attended a conference here in the Philippines. It's the biggest, I think, it's the Graphica Manila.
Mm,
So it's more on like a creative conference. So where all the graphic designers are there, all the creative minds are there. So I was here at this speaker, I forgot the name of the speaker, but this speaker trying to discuss about branding, like your brand name should something that really describes you or something that it's really you, right? And okay, and then I started to ask my question, who am I?
yeah.
So I'm a VA and I'm a teacher. So I started to throw those ideas inside the AI. You know what I mean? So I asked that started, and this AI knew me a lot because it's a learning language model. So
Mhm.
it has my past experiences, you know what I mean? So I asked for, couple name of the brand. So the AI gave several options, and this one stood out because that's something that really emanates or something that's really me because I'm a virtual assistant and I'm a teacher, right? It really describes who I am, right? It is serious something that would really when we say the VA teacher, oh, he's a teacher and he's a VA. So and
Yeah.
he's passionate. And when I started to change my name, I started to establish I think a good branding. So I grew my page from I think 500 and right now it's 16,000 and I grew it organically.
Wow. That is fantastic because marketing can be just that plain and simple and to the point. Because I'm sure you were thinking you had to have this fancy name, like, virtual real estate. I'm pretty sure because I've gone through this as well. It's like you think it has to be this elaborate name, but it really was just your two works combined, and you just add the word the.
Oh, the VA
The
teacher.
VA teacher, and it really, you assert yourself in this space. It's clear to exactly what you're presenting and doing in this space.
Right.
And the VA part is is a field and a lane in itself that a lot of people need help with. And the fact that you're also teaching it, like it's literally exactly what it is. Like you're the
It
VA
gives you the
teacher.
brand, right? So
Yeah.
it gives you a
Without
lot.
explaining too much. Hmm.
Correct. That's the purpose of my brand. And to be honest with you, why teacher? Is it something that, I like to do? The answer is yes. So it's all started when I was in high school. I want to be a teacher, but I wasn't able to get that because due to the complexity of things, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
yeah, I had a degree in public administration, but after a year, after I graduated, I get a 18 units of teaching certification, so I could, satisfy myself that, I have the fundamentals on how to teach, if you know what
Yes.
I mean. So
Yeah.
I would know how to present myself as a teacher or as an educator to my learners. And that's something that really equipped me a lot because now I can understand how I can communicate with the students. Because back then, I can see teaching that you will be the one talking to the learner and you're all good. But
Hmm.
when you're trying to see and navigate or learn the fundamentals and the principles of teaching, it is something that it is really there's still a process.
Hmm.
There's a strategies and approach that you have to make sure that you're gonna be doing. And I would say being a teacher, it is something that it is not about if you have a certification or a license, right? It's
Hmm.
more about it's more about I think it's a gift, right? Like anybody could become a teacher, but not anyone could. Everybody cannot teach, right? Because
Hmm.
you can have someone, okay, you can get your license, but they are not effective as other people I knew, right? Because I think it's a gift. If it is something, it's more of trying to explain complex things and making and simplifying it
Yes.
and then giving it to them, right? That's that's how you become a teacher. And become a teacher is, also understanding where they at, right?
Mhm.
So you would know how you're going to fill the gaps with them or to them rather.
I love
Yeah.
that. No, that's an amazing story, and I'm so grateful that we're having this conversation because there are a lot of gatekeepers, people that just hold information, they don't share it, they don't want to teach it, they don't know how to teach it. And I totally agree with teaching being a gift, and that's why I framed the question that way because I wanted to know like was your heart in it or was this just going to be another career, a part of your career, another service, but you really do have to care. And that's also why I named my business Transaction Care because it stands for California Real Estate, but together,
Oh, that's nice. I
yeah,
didn't know that, but it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So it's Transaction California Real Estate, but the word care is because from my perspective, I saw a lot of lack of care in this industry. And that's another reason why I gravitated towards your content because I can tell you really you don't you don't speed through the details. Like you break down the little details and you seem willing to keep trying again until it's understood. And I think that's what you were relaying in terms of it being a gift because not everyone cares about their students learning. They just care about let's get through the lesson. You either got it or you don't. And I think
Mhm.
and I truly believe being successful in this industry is having that level of care, but also that determination to that determination to be better as an individual so you can be better for others. And the fact that you grew your platform from 500 to 16,000 is like so cool because I'm surprised you don't have a million, to be honest. Like maybe after this it'll shoot up. Hopefully both of ours will shoot up to a million, but
Yeah.
I think the work it's bigger than what we're actually presenting, if that makes sense, because the impact it has on people's lives is bigger than just it's bigger than just words on a page or t timelines and deadlines. It's yeah, you're just
Yeah.
you're living out
And
your gifts.
I love, that you're putting emphasis on this one, on what we are doing. And because this is something that I really craving for, that's why I'm really happy when I'm seeing a real estate VA or really working in real estate, because it is something that I know that, really untapped market, because we're only few in the market right now.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, this past few months, I was also um I would say worried, because I feel like all these people are, I mean, I no hate with artificial intelligence or with AI,
Yeah.
but I could really see that they're all into AI. Like, what's happening? Like, even my content is, oh my gosh, why these people are not interested anymore in this type of, content,
Same.
right? Like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Is it because AI is really emerging? That's why they're trying to neglect. Well, I mean, and it also gives me a reminder that is it is it a sign for me to step out, or
Mm,
is it a time for me to just to stay on my lane, right? So
interesting.
yeah, so to answer your question, I just stay on my lane. Like, I'm still in real estate. This is something that I love to do, and I don't see quitting on this one, right? And I see a lot of opportunities on here.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I I started because I have this like learning platform as well. Like, I have a community. I transfer from one community to another. So my 10,000 members gone,
Oh, wow.
because I'm paying a lot on that platform, and it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense anymore, because the fees are high. So I have to move in with a cheaper one that, everybody could gain access for free.
Yeah.
Because if I will be
I
staying
did
on that
I did that before. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started from zero, and all I knew is I'm really confident, like, that I could be able to attain that milestone again, because I was
Hmm.
able to do it, and then I can do it again. And just to why I mentioned that, because I stopped promoting my paid online course on, or the product that I'm selling on how to become a real estate virtual assistant. It is because I switched platforms. And I'm not even promoting it anymore, like in my Facebook page. But it seems like this past few weeks, I'm getting a lot of queries, like, or inquiry, like, hey, do you have real estate tours? Hey, like, okay, maybe it's a sign for me to promote it again. Because
Yeah.
I don't because the one of the reason why I am not promoting it hardly, it's because I'm busy with the real estate transaction. I have a lot of files to manage,
Right.
and it is not easy to. I'm earning, and I'll be honest with you, I can earn a lot in real estate deals than selling, real estate courses,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm going through a lot of things. So yeah, maybe it's a sign for me to promote it again. And there has been, I think, this past few weeks, other couple of people are purchasing it because they want it. Okay, so
Hmm.
let's sell it again. It seems like the market is asking me to sell it. So there's a demand.
There you go. And one thing we know for sure about real estate is there are seasons of highs and lows. So I think with the season, summer coming to a close and people getting, kids going back to school,
Going back to school.
people wanting to go back to work, um, or start a new career, I definitely can see. the demand picking up because even before I hit record, I was mentioning to you, I was like, there's been an influx of international um, people wanting to learn about real estate here in the States, and I always send them to you because I think you're a great resource for them to get started. And if you're also starting to see that as well, then why not? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
And you know
it's
what?
for just
It's
the
really
season.
funny because back then when I'm doing live in TikTok, I have your link on my bio.
Oh, really?
Your YouTube channel. So
Oh,
because
thank you.
I'm sending, if you want to learn about transaction, because I haven't built my platform before, I don't have videos, so I don't have, like a resources that I can give to them. And I remember you, oh, you have and I think that was the time that you launched your YouTube channel. So what I
Yeah.
did is I put it on my link and bio. Okay, visit Lilly. So, and I'm sending them to you, and you're sending them to me. That's what's gonna
Oh,
happening.
funny. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm giving them as much information and I also use you as a resource. Like if you need more, if you want to speak to someone who's done it from a different country and is applying it here in the States, AJ is a great resource, and I still stand on that. Regardless if you're doing training or not, I think just I think you and I both have enough content to last people to get them started, a
I
little
know.
bit. Sometimes I debate if I want to keep going or stop content as well, but I think
You gotta keep doing it.
we have to keep doing it. Exactly. Even with AI, people are still going to need this human to human interaction. That's
And
why
Lily, real estate is one of the, I would say, services that AI cannot really dominate because
I agree.
it needs human connection. And as the AI trying to emerge, the people will crave for human attention.
A hundred
And
percent.
that's what we
Exactly. So, I think that's a perfect place to stop for now. AJ will be back. Don't worry. These are just introductions. I want to introduce you all to the faces and the voices behind the content and their journeys and their stories. So, before we go, I definitely want you to, what can people expect when they work with you and how can they find you? So, go ahead and share if you are selling your courses or if you just have a website they can visit and whatever the floor is yours. So go ahead
Yeah,
and
thank you. And by the way, I wanna take this opportunity as well to send my gratitude to you, Lily. And my biggest thank you because you invited me in this platform.
oh,
And I just felt like whenever someone's trying to invite me, I felt really special because it is the thought that and it is the thought, it is, their effort to reach out to you. You know what I mean? So thank you so much. And for those who's listening on this podcast, please follow Lily. And I want to say to
oh,
you, Lily, we don't deserve this following, but I know that we're changing lives. That's one thing for sure. And if you want to work with us, or if you just want to know my content, if you are from outside the country, don't have to worry. Some of my contents are in English medium, so I'm not speaking in in some others. Yeah, I'm speaking Filipino, but you can find me I have my YouTube channel. It's the VA dot teacher. So you can search that on YouTube. I also have my Facebook page, the VA teacher, and what else on Instagram. I don't have the website yet, but maybe sooner.
okay. Amazing, amazing, amazing. AJ, the VA teacher, this has been perfect. It was everything I imagined and more. I'm glad we got to sit down and have this conversation for people to watch, to listen, to save for the future. And just stay tuned. I'll put all of AJ's information in the description of this episode. So reach out, follow, book a session, hire AJ as a TC as well in California if you're looking for one. And with that said, this has been another episode and conversation of Transaction Care, the number one real estate show on the market. I'm claiming it, I'm calling it. And my name is Lillian Hernandez. Until the next conversation, care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon. Thank you so much, AJ.